Hey, I wanted to share with you just a concept and a few thoughts that I've been just kind of mulling over, and that's on living life more consciously. So, what does it mean to live life more consciously? Well, oftentimes when we have a goal and we notice ourselves self sabotaging, getting distracted, and not really focusing on what it is that we want, oftentimes is because we are living life in a state that's not aware. And so we want to bring in more self-awareness and begin to live life more consciously. So let me step back a little bit and talk a little bit about what we're working with here. See, our mind is made up of our conscious and our subconscious. Now, our conscious mind is the intellectual mind. That intellectual mind that, we think is like the part of ourselves that says, I want to set this goal. I want to start a business and I want to make more money. That's the conscious mind. And then we notice that our our thoughts, our behaviors, and our behavior patterns are not really supporting it. And we're butting up against that, and it's not working out. It's not working out. It's not working out. It's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with our conscious mind, because our conscious mind knows what it wants. Okay? The elephant in the room here, the pink elephant in the room here, is the subconscious mind. You see, the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. And that emotional mind dictates 95% of our inner thoughts, our habits, our behaviors. Okay? And so what we want to begin to do is understanding that this is what's happening here. And that puts us in a place of power, because now we know, we want to focus on the subconscious mind here and begin to reprogram the subconscious mind. You see, if you are, for example, working a job and you've worked a job all your life and your parents were employees, your family members, and you're around colleagues, family and friends that are all our employees, you don't really have an example of someone that has maybe a successful business, that is a successful business owner. And so that leads you with, that's why you were programmed through years, and even college itself. You may have a college degree, but college teaches us to be good employees. And so what we want to begin to do is reprogram that subconscious thoughts. It's the repetition that created your current programming. And it's the repetition that's going to help you to reprogram your subconscious mind. And so there are many tools for that. One tool is affirmations. And a lot of people have different opinions on affirmations. Do they work? Do they not work? And I'll tell you, they work. The problem is in the way that people are using affirmations, why it's not working. I'll tell you why. Because let's keep with the example. Okay, you've been an employee all your working life, and you want to step into being an entrepreneur, a successful business owner. You want the freedom of time that gives you. Okay, and no more cap in your salary. That's a good thing. But what we want to do is maybe introduce an affirmation that says, I am a successful business owner. And make sure that it's in the present. I am. Okay, the present is all there is. And also, too, is sprinkle in some emotions. Remember, we're working with the emotional mind. And so we've got to get emotional with the affirmation. And oftentimes people that say affirmations don't work is because they're still working in the conscious mind. They're still working on the intellect. I am a successful business owner. If you keep saying that affirmation in the intellect, that's the problem. See, you're trying to reprogram the emotional mind, the subconscious mind. So it's going to take emotions to really get in there, and it's going to take repetition, okay? Because all of our learned behavior is through repetition. How did you learn your name? I have kids, they're 3 years old, right? And every time I said Gianna growing up, they're babies. Once they became maybe 1 year old, 2 years old, they knew, okay, when I say Gianna, that's my name. And they turn around now, see? So same thing with you. You know your name through repetition. Right? Your learned behaviors and habits and thinking is through repetition. So it's going to take repetition to help you to reprogram that subconscious thought. Affirmations, I'm giving you one tool. There are many tools. Journal writing is another one. The magic of journal writing is that it gets into that subconscious mind. And see, through writing your goals, writing out your dreams and goals, it's really going to help to get in there, to get into that subconscious mind. And so those are two tools that can help and support you. So we want to begin to take life more consciously by, number one, becoming aware, taking an inventory of your inner dialogue. Okay, how much of that inner dialogue is negative? You'd be surprised. Most often, more often than not, a lot of the inner dialogue is negative. You want to be aware of that, because that is going to most certainly create the self-sabotage behaviors, okay, and the distraction, because you're not aligned. So you may say, this is my goal, and the conscious mind, this is what I want, okay, but then your negative thinking is not aligned. So become aware of it, right? Take an inventory. Maybe watch yourself for a week, or maybe just a day, and become self-aware of your thoughts, your inner dialogue. Catch yourself when you're having a negative thought. The other thing too is becoming aware of your behaviors, your habits. Okay? If you want to have a successful business, are your actions aligned with that? How much time do you actually spend on critical actions that will move the needle forward for your business? Okay? If you're spending most of your time dreaming about it, thinking about it, that's good. That's a good thing. But how are your behaviors? What habits have you introduced on a daily basis that are aligned with the identity of the successful business owner? You see? So the first thing you want to do is take an inventory, self-awareness. What is the inner dialogue? What are the behaviors and habits? Okay, watch yourself. Take a good inventory. Be honest with yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just take an inventory. Step 2, be clear. Get clarity. Be clear with what your goal is, who you want to become. How does this successful business owner think, act, behave? What do they do on a daily basis, right? And so that's step 2. And then step 3 is step into the identity. Take on that identity. Break out that calendar. Okay, block in certain times of activities that will move forward your successful business. Right? If something as practical as building that website, getting a domain name, right? Creating the LLC, it's not going to happen if it's not on the calendar. Block that into the calendar. These are the behaviors. Start scheduling your week. That's what I do. I've got a journal, right? That and every Sunday I line up. Okay, what are my goals, and what are the activities for this week that I line up to the goals? What are the key activities? What are my priorities? Okay, and so that's going to help you to begin to take life more consciously. Those 3 steps, right? Self-assessment. The second one is designing the identity, right? the future goal, identifying the future goal, get clarity. It's gonna help you get clarity. And then 3 is step into the identity. Very, very important to act as if, act from the end in mind. You want to be a successful business owner. It's not a matter of I will be, rather it is a matter of I am. Okay, stepping into that identity, and it's not a one-time thing to be self-aware and to live life consciously. As you go from your current state to your future state, there's a gap, and in that gap, it's going to be very challenging. And it's very challenging because you're essentially, the old person is dying out. This old person that's dying out is scary to your ego, and that ego or yourself is going to fight it, and you're going to experience that shift. But stick with it. Stick with the tools, the affirmations, the journal writing that I told you. And those are just 2. There's so many more, and maybe I'll share in future videos. But you want to begin to use those tools, because during that gap from where you are to where you want to be, there's the challenge. Your ego is going to fight to survive. okay? It's going through a survival mechanism. Not only that, but people around you, your family, your friends, are going to start seeing that you're changing, that you're different. And that might not, sorry, there's a lot of noise here. Hold on. It looks like there's an ambulance. But so that new person you're trying to become might not fit with their current paradigm. And they're afraid of losing you, that you that they know. And they might not be comfortable with that. Okay, so I'm in Egypt, and I think they're doing their songs now. And so if you hear that background, it's that. So just wrapping this up quickly, what you want to become is aware of all of the triggers that's going to happen. Triggering of the ego, triggering of your family and friends, that the person that they hold near and dear is changing. The old person is dying out, okay? And they're going to want to save this person because they want to keep their current paradigm. Because if you change, what does that do for them? Then they would have to change too, or they would have to, at the very least, begin to analyze and assess themselves. Okay, so just be aware that that's happening as well. There's so much going on. Okay, and so stay focused. Okay? Stay focused on your goal and live life consciously. See you on the next one.